So in this video, I spoke to Raheel Bodla, who is a startup and success coach based out of California. Raheel studied business management at Harvard and then went over to MIT where he did his master's and was then hired by Tesla where he worked on the Model X line. He then went ahead and started his own consulting business where he has so far provided success coaching to a wide variety of companies across Asia, Middle East and North America, and has helped business grow by as much as 4 times their original size. That's quite impressive, isn't it? So I asked Raheel 2 simple questions. First one was, what are the technical skills or hard skills to be a good startup coach? And then what are the top soft skills to be successful in this space? Let's find out what he said.
So this would be actually 7 different areas that we cover, or that I would advise any business owner or startup founder to go through this framework. Like, for example, having that clarity of the business plan, where we are today, whether we are starting a business from scratch or where we are today to where we want to go, how we are positioning the product or service, like how I'm positioning myself as a business owner or a startup founder, and also how I'm positioning my product and service in the eyes of my potential clients or anyone that I interact with, how we are doing our marketing, sales, operation, finance, and customer success. So with mindset and strategy, a lot of work that we do. And this is what I would suggest and would love to share with the audience, that if you're a business owner or if you're a startup founder, these are the 7 areas that I would highly suggest you to go through and develop your skills in that. Like, had an opportunity to work with CEOs of big companies or small companies or startups. Then if I would say that I can do the marketing part, but it's definitely difficult for me to understand finance, to go through the numbers. These are the 7 skills I need to be a CEO of the company. I would be just like Elon Musk. He does the marketing and sales for his company. He has a lot of depth and the breadth to lead the company in all these 7 dimensions. So this is what I would love to share with the audience.
Great. So just tell me a little bit about, as you started your journey as a success coach, and thanks a lot for sharing this whole structure, right? Which was the most difficult area for you to become an expert on? Because if somebody wants to follow your footsteps and they want to pursue a career similar to yours, what would you advise them in this with regards to this particular skill set?
Thank you, Jameel. That's so interesting. The hardest area for me was, let me go back to the journey. Out of the 20 years of work experience, 17 years were basically starting with an engineering and different areas of business management, like supply chain management, project management, operation, Lean Six Sigma. So, however, these 3 years, the last 3 years that I did in sales, that was a very humbling experience for me. To understand that, Raheel, you are going through a lot of that engineering analysis paralysis, and it does not apply in sales. In sales, it's for me to connect heart to heart, to understand what the client is looking for. And these were like not different products or services. These were millions of dollars of projects that I was selling, and got a very good opportunity to be a supplier of Tesla through that startup company. And that's how connecting heart to heart. Sales was the difficult part, and I get similar feedback from the industry people as well, that, okay, Raheel, that's an area in which, like, I am in engineering, did a very good product and service, so I need more help in the sales part, like how to get traction for my startup or the business to grow in sales. So what I learned from my experience, and then I've worked exactly on the same pattern with so many different business owners and startups, was I would like to share with the audience 3 points, which is heart, mind, heart. It's so easy and simple, but many of the time doing that, it becomes difficult. And the more we do it, that's how we develop that muscle building. Heart, mind, heart. So what that means is that I'm trying to connect with the client, or I'm trying to understand what's going on. And if I come with a predisposition of my own understanding and I start speaking or I start saying something, that's not going to make a heart-to-heart connection. What's important for me is to understand the other person and talk what they are looking forward to learning or what they are looking forward to listening. Connect them really well, heart to heart. It may be through the journey. Maybe Jameel and Raheel, they had similar journey going through Canada, or it was something they belong to the same country, or maybe they went to the same school, or it could be that they have some interest in common, like having that common connection, having that hook, connecting heart to heart. That's very important. Or it may be about the family, that I know that Jameel has 2 boys and I have 2 boys, how well we connect with each other. So that's the first point, how we connect heart to heart. And then in the center, it goes through the mind portion that, okay, does the product make sense? Does the business make sense? Do the services that we are trying to provide and add value to each other, does that make sense? So in the center, while we sandwich, inside that is the mind portion, the talent of the mind. And the closing again is based on heart. And this developing this heart portion, like a lot of us, like me being an engineer as well, and yourself and so many other friends working with the other engineers, they have a lot of talent of mind. But the area they need to develop a lot, and we do a lot of muscle building, is the passion of the heart. Because it's heart, mind, heart. Once we close anything, or anything gets successful in a project, or maybe it's potentially we are trying to work together in a project, or maybe I'm trying to do some sales. The closing is again based on heart. It's something interesting, Jameel, that I learned from your episode that you did with Adil Hashmi, that people are going to forgive and forget what we said, but they will never forgive and forget how we made them feel in a conversation with ourselves, in our communication, in our relationship. So the closing is again based on heart, that how do we like working with each other? We may be 2 startup founders, or we may be in a business relationship. I may be your supplier. These are actual implications of in business industry, different areas. So that's something that I've done a lot, that I learned through my humbling experiences, through which I understood that I knew nothing about heart, mind, heart. And that's what we do with the business owners, startup founders. And that is something I would love to share, because that gave us the traction and gave us the results in what we were trying to look and what we were looking for.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. There are other professions you want to learn more about, or there are other soft skills you have questions on. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Thanks for watching.